Joe Gaming Zeta presents First Turns. Greetings, lords and ladies, and welcome to Joe Gamer Zeta, the place for Game Joe games and only Game Joe games. Welcome to a brand new episode of First Turns. I'm your host, Joshua Hill, and today we are looking at the remainder. This is another ripping game. I do realize last episode was a ripping game. This is a ripping game. Don't worry, this is actually the last one for a little bit. So, we are going to be playing a game by Zehe Liu. Zehe Liu? I think I said that right. Zehe Liu? I hope I said it right. I apologize if I didn't. This is version 0.1.6. It is early access, and it was put up on January 27th, 2021. And it looked very fascinating. That's the whole reason I'm playing it, because it looked really good. Don't quite grasp what the conversation is, what the story is, but suppose it has something to do with memory and stuff like that. So let's get into it. If you missed something, you can read it again in the history. Okay. The story will include depictions of death, violence, death, and suicide, as well as mentions of mind-altering substances and activities. It's recommended for mature audiences. Oh. Well, we're going for it anyways. Act 1. A sweet scent fills my nostrils. I venture a lick, metallic, greasy. What in Laura's name is happening? Darkness falls. Soon I can barely make out the silhouette of my hands. With panic in my throat, I run to the tower and push open the door, shouting, "Where are you?" Empty. Silent hall stretched before me, echoing my question. In the far end, a figure is walking away into the dark recesses of the hall. Hey, wait! Shouting, I run after them, feet pounding upon the sticky wet stones, echoing loudly, squish, squish. Please, wait, I'm sorry. don't want to call their name, but no. There was a name. Why can't I remember? Because it's easier that way. What? No. You were always a coward. The voice chuckles. My. Look at you now. I ignore it and keep running. Sink the name. I'll know them when I find them. I throw a door open, nothing. Another door, nothing. Irritating. It better be important if I'm going through all this trouble for it. Next room, nothing. The infuriating voice is pointedly quiet. Shut up! I didn't say anything. You were thinking about it, my voice echoes back as I stand in an empty room, hot breath rasps in my throat. Why was I running so hard? Why do I care? Was it that important? I'm so tired. It's alright. Everything is fine. Whatever it was, it doesn't matter. My eyelids are heavy. Confronting numbness that envelops me. I close my eyes and lay on the floor, just for a moment. Everything's fine. The sea in every direction, endless. A diamond dusting of moonlight across the surface above me. I look down into the depth. I pressure against my chest as the dark stirs. A star, then two, then a constellation glitters into life. They approach. The darkness was not the bottomless sea, but the body of an enormous fish. Its silhouette filling my entire view. A gaping mouth splits open from the horizon. A deep black within, approaching, buzzing. Their progenitor, hag, Shuthrol, comes for me. I should be afraid. Her mouth, now an all-encompassing, blots out the... Her mouth, now all-encompassing, blocks out the last remainder of feeble illumination around me. I should be afraid. Why am I not? The mouth shuts with a distant clang. A clash of lightning across the eyelid sky. Wake up! Come on, wake up. Oh, wake up. Okay. Okay, it's telling me, okay. Prickly light in the comforting darkness. A rumbling rises and falls in a anti-music rhythm. Calm coolness gives way to crushing heat. A blanket of boulders I'm wearing. Hey, are you alright? Do you hear me? My eyes struggle open to a face. Oh no, go away. Someone grips my shoulder and squeezes. Still a bit out of it, huh? The metallic and greasy buzzing sound crescendos and my mouth taste of iron. A hand is laid upon my forehead. I open my eyes again. It's easier this time, but the rest of my body is still heavy as stones. I can't budge a hair. Feverish, but not obvious wounds. You'll be fine, I dare say. Their brow furrows deeper. Stay still, listen to me carefully. Your spell had gone very, very wrong. It's going to kill us, and I haven't got much time to fix it. After a pause, they pat my head as if an afterthought. What are you talking about? What spell? I work my stiff tongue. Don't worry about it. Just rest here. I'll deal with it. It'll be no more than a tease time. They turn and stride off, not waiting for my reply. Hey, wait. What happened? I break off into a fit of coughing. A hoarseness burns my throat. I peer around, trying to get a hold of my surroundings. I must be dizzy still. Everything's spinning. Why are the books flying? I squeeze my eyelids shut again. This is not happening. I'll wake up soon. Sounds trickle in. Rustling, clinking, a storm raging outside. A guttural buzzing. How can I sleep like this? Annoyed, I drag myself sluggishly to my feet. An urge to gag rises, rubbing my throbbing temples. Tasting a foulness in my mouth, I force down the bile. What did I do last night? The incessant buzzing, I rub my eyes again to clear them and look for the source of the sound. As I catch the sight of it, a cold terror creeps up my spine. A pulsing, writhing mass is suspended in the air. 8 tentacles, a gaping mouth, rings of chittering teeth glaring at me. Waves of moist, brilliant heat spew from it. The transparency, the symmetry, the stench, the singing. Breathing catching in my throat, I freeze. When it doesn't lunge at me nor do anything but hover and pulsate, I manage to breathe again. What in Laura's name is that? Shapes huddle beneath the grotesque thing in the air. As I step around to get a better look, they resolve into figures. Midnight, silent and still as bones. The white-haired person who woke me moments ago stands over someone robed in blue-gray curled up on a polished stone floor, their face a mask of anguish. The emblem of a high mangus hangs around their neck. The image of a black, snake-like creature coils around their arm. Why do I know these symbols? White-haired hands are raised in a particular gesture towards the tentacle atrocity looming overhead. Hey, I whimper, what are you doing? What is that thing? They don't show the slightest hint of having heard me. Hello, I ask again, no movement. I bump into something, look down to see a low couch. Beside it, there's a table on which cups lay about like drunkards. Inkwell, quills, and crumpled papers are strewed across the table and the stones beneath. A few bottles are still dropping from the mouths. Dark red spots splatter across the room, covering stone and paper alike. A crash from somewhere else in the cavernous chamber pierces the silence, jolting me. A wave of adrenaline hits me. I duck behind the couch. There comes a bang, sound of glass shattering, burst of voices, a cacophony reverence painful from the walls around me. I clutch my ears. Is that shouting? Are there other people here? Please let me wake up already. This is not funny anymore. As abruptly as they came, the shouts die down. Is it over? Clamping eyes shut, I try to block out the buzzing, praying, let this be over soon. Let this be over soon. Let this... How did you get there? I nearly jump at the voice. The white-haired person is black, slumped next to the couch. Head lolled, a hand to their shoulder, breathing shallow. Something glistening drips from them, but flickers and vanishes when it hits the floor. I walked. You're wounded. What happened? Did someone attack you? They try to speak, but wince instead. Their eyes closed, throat bobbing, spitting out something black and then resting their head back. They flash a sly grin and whisper, "You should see the other." Violent coughing erupts. It interrupts them. Some fluid drops down and evaporates as it hits the floor. Sink me. Run my moment. I suppress a cow. I see. Maybe you can take the moment of yours and tell me what's going on here. What does it look like? I glance around the room with intense displeasure, taking care about avoid the floating thing, like the end of the world. Another wince. They lift a finger and point. What about that? Do you recognize it? I realize that they mean the thing with tentacles and avert my eyes. No, Davos, no. Absolutely not. Should I? I can't resist a shudder. They give us, seeing me, not even that. Your handiwork. Excuse me? You heard me. That thing's here because of you. The Abyss Devar. A door to the last place you ever want to be. Make no mistake. Their eyes wide with fear, their mouth curls in disgust. Curiosity rises. I push myself upright and study the seat again. I don't believe you. The unmoving figure catches my sight. What about those people? They seem more like the ones responsible for me. They gesture at the figure on the floor. Exactly right. That's the culprit. A great magus, farseer, savior of the Darwin Square, prodigy of the age, so on and so forth. You know the name too. Your name. No, looking directly at me now. You remember your own name, don't you? My name. Joshy Poo. Joshy Poo. Curiosity. Oh wait, the words trickle at my inside of my head. Magus, Joshy Poo. They say weakly, not to slight a dire situation, but it is somewhat amusing to see yourself like this. No, my eyes, my brows tighten. What's amusing? No, I mean, hold on. How could that be me? I'm here and I'm not. The person falls quiet for a moment, then tilts their head limply towards an ornate mirror meandering through the air nearby. Go see yourself. Take another good look at the figure on the ground. I step to the mirror and pull off its velvet cover. What I see leaves me stunned. The figure in the mirror, with their wide eyes and gaping mouth, is the spitting image of the one on the floor. I touch small pieces of my metal ebbed of the metal metal ebbed in my skin. Huh? I haven't noticed these before. Turn around and check. I see that even they are identical with the other person's. Could it be true? But how? How am I in two places at once? I turn to the figure next to me. How do you know me? You said my name, and you seem somehow familiar. But why don't I know you? What happened to me? My voice quivers. Tell me. They laugh silently. You don't remember my name either. You're Belmont. I'm gonna go with Belmont. You're Belmont. Another fit of coughing. Not even close. You must have hit your head quite severely. Worried, I run a hand over my scalp. There aren't any holes. I don't remember hitting it. How should I say this? Eyes closed and lips parted, their voices barely whispered out. My name's Ilair, your partner. Don't you know what you did? Found you like this? They push out the words with effort. I lean closer to listen. A ritual must have gone astray and set loose the Abyss Davar, stripping away your memories. I did what I could. You'd be gone, other words. They're silent for a long stretch. I nudge them. Are you still with me? Their eyes open again, struggle to lift a hand and point towards the other side of the room, but it flops to the floor. Sink me. They're getting so quiet I have to put my ear next to their mouth to hear them. Warm breath tickles me. Blood rushes in my ears. Your desk. Look in my journal. Find the spell. Circular gate. Black powder. Mantra repeated. Only way to save. No time. Go. Quit. They slump to the floor. Holding my breath, I wait. Heartbeat like a hammer in my skull. Thump. Thump. The buzzing fields would be silent in between, resonating of torment. I drive a thumb into my temple, pushing one pain with another. Crushing one pain with another. A futile effort. Are you alive? I reach a hand to their shoulder. My hand passes through them. I pull away in shock and watch open mouth as Lear's body melts into sticky, transparent strands. A few breaths away, they are no more than a shimmering puddle. I jump back, lose my balance, land on my butt, a scream starting. I throw my hands over my mouth and clamp tight, hoping that I wasn't loud enough to draw attention. Stare at the spot where Ilair had been. By the depths, I relax my hands and mutter once my heart's slowed down to a less painful pace. Realizing that there were a few glowing strands still clinging to my fingers, I shake them off in a panic. My skin crawls. Davarna. What do I do now? Find and cast a spell? Are they mad? I don't even know what a spell is. And how were they killed? Could this place be dangerous? Davos, what do I do? Investigate my surroundings. Ooh, okay, so we're now in the midst of things. Journal. Heart pumping, I spring to my feet. There's no desk nearby. Where could it be? Now that my head is cleared up, I can finally see more than a few meters in front of me. The place is a disaster. It looks like half of the library's contents are caught in an unseen maelstrom. Books, parchment, translucent globes, and cryptic skulls swim like fish through the air. Beyond this layer of mess, there are even bookshelves meandering in the periphery. I dodge under floating chairs, vases, paintings, a venerable vase. A lamp bumps into my feet, stretching into shivering, transparent strings. Before I can react, it snaps back into place, wobbling. I feel a red-hot needle slowly being pushed through my thigh. I cry, drop to my knees, but in a blink, the pain feels gone as if it was never there. Noticing that my leg still works, I hurry out of the field of debris, not daring to come near anything. I catch sight of an enormous desk at the far end of the room. Seeing no more obstacles, I ease my panicked breath and I walk up over to it, fervently hoping that the journal will be there. What a disgrace, save for a heavily booked, squarely set in the center, aligned with the edges. Everything else, papers, scrolls, measuring tools, writing utensils, all that scattered carelessly. I file a mental note to put in order when this is all finished. Observing the book, I noticed the precisely spaced stitch marks along the spine, even placed rivets meticulously inscribed "Jashipu" in the leather. My jittering breath steadies. My hand clears somewhat. This supposed to be the journal. If I can find the spell soon, there's still a chance I can save myself. I flip open some pages at random. Hello there. You're my journal then. Will you help me make sense of all this? My paper is smooth and firm under my fingers. A thick aroma fills my nose, so familiar. I close my eyes and inhale deeply. Memories tickle the back of my head. When I open the eyes again, the arcane symbols begin to regard me, even as I look at them, like seeing an old friend. Written words, soldiers of the intellect, regiments arraying on a planar battlefield, written in a decisive hand, mine. Geometric diagrams, sigils, maps of heart and spirit beyond words, ordered beauty. It must take days, perhaps weeks to draw each, but what is time to acts of chaos defiance? A roll of strings hang from the bottom of the book, each with an ornamental coin tied at the end. Bookmarks, perhaps? So many of them. By the depths, it's huge, an encyclopedia. How will I ever find one spell in this? A scratchy sound comes from somewhere to my left. I tense up for a moment. Is it some debris or I wait? Another scratch, then another. Something sharp against wood. I swallow, heart pounding. Could it be whatever Lear was dealing with? What do I do? The scratching keeps coming in twos and threes from the same distance now, I realize. If they wanted to harm me, I'd be harmed already. Now be brave and look. I carefully tilt my head. There's an arched doorway fitted with a thick drift oak frame. The door is partially ajar. Dense blackness lies beyond it. I can't see anything moving. I peer in the dark opening. An amber glint flashes, another scratch. Squinting, I take a tentative step forward. Is that a... Oh, a slender silhouette, ever so slowly, detaches itself from the shadow of the doorframe. Their dark skin, which has been blended effortlessly in the shadow, now sits in stark contrast to light. Their features are sharp and merciless. They walk tiptoe, suing muscles rippling under the tight-fitting clothing, poised to lunge. I back away, hand fumbling it behind me, searching the desk for something to defend myself, but there's only paper. The dark figure advances slowly, peering around the room, sniffing the hair, pausing at every little sound. They're distracted. I might have a chance. I tense up and ready myself. The next time they stop to peer at something, I bolt for the circle of debris. Caught by surprise, they claw at my arm. Misses, tears a shred of fabric away. Stop, I hear them hiss. Then rapid footsteps on my heels. I don't dare slow down. Something sharp scratches at my robe, tearing it, but without enough catch to stop me. They're closing in. I can't outrun them. What do I do? Stop! Another hiss from behind. Something large that moves in the corner eye. Then I hear a crash and the sound of a shower of splinters. I try to see my pursuer knocked to the ground by a bookshelf. I turn to see my pursuer knocked to the ground by a bookshelf turned projectile. Don't stop. Come to me. Earl's voice booms. I turn and see them moving their arm in an arc and several thick faces from the drifting flock. Oh, he's still alive. Or, is he back from the dead? I'm confused. Flock launch towards my attacker. A head-on smash. Mirage shards fly out. I wince at the imagined pain. But when the pieces have settled, I spot the dark figure some distance below, on all fours, mostly unharmed. How did they? Elar takes a quick step to my back, muttering something under their breath, then turn their open hand towards the enemy. They leap back, bounding several meters at once, landing near the doorway. I wait for Ilar to press the attack, but they simply step out from behind me and glare at our attacker. What are you waiting for? They're right there. It seems Ilar doesn't hear me at all. They just stand there. I look towards the dark figure. They're staring at me with fury in their eyes. They're open mouthed to say something, but all that comes out is a sound somewhere behind a gurgle and a hiss. They clutch at their throat with both hands, eyes bulging, straining. Earlar chuckles, and with a flick of wrist launches a cabinet. The invader grimaces at me and vanishes into the doorway. The cabinet smashes into splinters so loud that it hurts to hear it. The room is quiet, save for the rain and pounding in my chest. What happened? I thought you were died. You turned into steel. Panic, I fumbled for words. Earlar's triumphant stand falters and they hunch, clenched at their shoulder. Hold the tears, love. I was only nearly dead, but enough to draw out the dead creature. I cringe. Don't call me that. And who was that creature? Were you played dead? Wait, was I your bait? You wound me. I thought we worked as partners. That might have been a Lukashi. Entities hopelessly attached to the Abyss Davar. Slippery as eels. The only way to deal with them is to by surprise. You helped me surprise them. Skeptical, I cross my arms. Is that so? Well, it worked, didn't it? We won't have to worry about one for a while. It'll be licking its wounds. I had this strange thought in my head that the creature might be good and he might be bad, but I could be wrong about that. That's just what my mind is kind of thinking, because it seemed like the monster was trying to talk to me and couldn't, and like was grabbing his throat like something was choking it. So I think that there might be a little bit more to this story than you're first realizing. I'm wondering who I am. Obviously a magist who created some kind of dark portal, but I also had this strange feeling that he's the one who did it and is trying to cover up what he did. Anyways, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe for more videos in the future. Hit that notification bell to be caught up on all my videos as soon as I put them out. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye! Thanks for watching, and remember, subscribe, check the links below. Come on back for another video.